What does it mean when some of the world's most independent thinkers reach the same conclusion? When elite investors, each with their own methods, unique philosophies, and decades of experience, independently arrive at the same stock? They've identified something remarkable, a business that simultaneously satisfies the value investors' discipline, the quality investors' standards, and the growth investors' ambitions. Today we are examining the top 10 stocks where smart money overlaps. We'll explore which companies have earned a spot in 18, 20, or even 35 super investor portfolios, and critically whether these investors are adding to their positions or heading for the exits. Now, we're not here to blindly copy trades, but when a stock survives a rigorous due diligence of dozens of brilliant minds, each applying different frameworks and standards, it absolutely deserves our attention. And before we dive in, let me briefly mention a sponsor of today's video, Seeking Alpha, and we will be using their powerful tools to try to understand why super investors love these 10 stocks. At number 10, we see United Health Group. 18 super investors own this stock, including Robert Olstein, David Tepper, and Warren Buffett. United Health Group is the largest healthcare company in the world by revenue and the largest insurance company by net premiums. So what's smart money doing with this stock? Well, they bought 800,000 shares but sold over 4.2 million shares. So we see significantly more selling here. At number 9, we have Apple. 19 super investors own this stock, including Warren Buffett, David Rolfe, and Francis Chu. And Apple is definitely one of those companies that doesn't require any introduction. What about the buying and selling activity? They bought just 11,000 shares but sold a massive 42.1 million shares. That's a tremendous sell-off, showing super investors are taking significant profits or reducing their Apple exposure dramatically. But it's not only super investors. If we go to Seeking Alpha, enter the ticker AAPL, and scroll past all the news and information, we find this: insider selling and buying. And we can see that currently there is a lot of selling going on, including Tim Cook selling shares worth almost $71 million. And of course, insider selling is less meaningful than insider buying. Tim Cook can have many reasons to sell that have nothing to do with company prospects. But the fact that we see so much selling may mean that insiders also believe that the price is pretty high. At number 8, we see Berkshire Hathaway Class B shares. 20 super investors own this stock, including Guy Spier, Christopher Blomstrand, and Li Lu. Are super investors adding to their positions? Well, they bought 1.9 million shares and sold 2.4 million shares. So we see modest net selling here. At number 7, we have Taiwan Semiconductor Manufacturing Company. 21 super investors own this stock, including David Rolfe, David Tepper, and Lee Ainsley. TSMC is the world's largest dedicated independent semiconductor foundry. They manufacture chips for companies like Apple, Nvidia, and AMD. Is smart money buying or selling? The answer is buying. They bought 10.6 million shares and sold only 1.9 million shares. That's a strong vote of confidence in this semiconductor giant. And if we go to Seeking Alpha, we see that they are buying even though the price is going up. In the last half a year, it is up around 45%. But let's dig further. If we go to ratings, we see that Seeking Alpha analysts think it is a buy. Wall Street think it is a buy, and when we look at pure financial numbers, it is a strong buy, even though the valuation is extremely high. So in this case, the quality of the business wins with the price. And let's just take a super quick look at the fundamentals. Revenue is steadily going up. Net income, same story here. Cash and cash equivalents going up, and net debt is negative. So they have more cash than debt, and by a huge margin. So TSMC, even at current prices, is finding a lot of buyers. At number 6, we see Visa. 24 super investors own this stock, including Chuck Akre, Terry Smith, and Francois Rochon. We all know what Visa does and how critical it is to the world economy. What's the verdict on recent super investors' activity? Well, they are absolutely bullish. They bought 11 million shares and sold only 1.5 million shares. This represents significant net buying and shows super investors see a lot of value in this payment processing powerhouse. At number 5, we have Amazon. 25 super investors own this stock, including Josh Tarasov, Bill Ackman, and David Tepper. Amazon started as an online bookstore, but right now it is a technology giant focusing on e-commerce, cloud computing through AWS, online advertising, and digital streaming. Are super investors buying this stock? Not quite. Even though they bought 3 million shares, they also sold 9.8 million shares. So we are seeing significant net selling here. At number 4, we see Alphabet Class C shares. 27 super investors own this class of stock, including Li Lu, Thomas Russo, and Francis Chu. Alphabet is the parent company of Google and several former Google subsidiaries dominating search, online advertising, and cloud computing. Let's look at the transaction data. Super investors bought just under 79,000 shares, but sold over 10.4 million shares. That's a dramatic sell-off of Class C shares, probably caused by the price going steadily up and up. At number 3, we see Meta Platforms. 29 super investors own this stock, including Pat Dorsey, Francois Rochon, and Terry Smith. Meta is the parent company for Facebook, Instagram, Threads, and WhatsApp, and is investing heavily in artificial intelligence currently. How are super investors treating Meta? Well, they bought 1.1 million shares and sold 7.7 million shares. So another stock that is getting trimmed significantly. At number 2, we see Alphabet Class A shares. 32 super investors own this stock, including David Rolfe, Bill Ackman, and Chase Coleman. And these are the voting shares of Alphabet. Now, here's where it gets really interesting. Super investors bought 18 million shares and sold only 2.7 million shares. This represents massive net buying of Alphabet's voting shares, even while they were selling the Class C shares. And the main reason for such a result is the fact that Warren Buffett just bought 17.8 million shares. So let's open Seeking Alpha and take a quick look at Alphabet to understand this move by the Oracle of Omaha. And if we go to ratings, we can see that we have great scores here, except the valuation. But since Buffett is a long-term investor and not a speculator, he has to believe that the future of this company in 5 or 10 years will be super bright. So let's compare Alphabet to some of its competitors. Let's go to the peers section, and straight away we see some other companies in the same industry. And if we look at the historical results in the last 10 years, it is clear that Alphabet is the winner. Tencent, 309% up. Meta, 465%. But Alphabet is up by 636% in the last decade. So if they can continue to deliver similar results as they did in the last years, even at current prices, this can be an interesting investment. Now, if you would like to learn more about basically any company in the world, check out Seeking Alpha, and by using the link in the description before December 9th, you will get a 20% discount and a 7-day free trial, so you will have plenty of time to check out the platform and see, is it a right fit for you? Okay, thank you Seeking Alpha for sponsoring this video, and let's see what company is it. Number 1. Surprise, surprise, it is Microsoft. An impressive 35 super investors own this stock, including David Katz, Terry Smith, and Lee Ainsley. Microsoft is a technology company best known for software products like Windows, but they are investing billions in cloud computing and, of course, artificial intelligence. And what are super investors doing with this stock in the last few months? Well, they bought 3.3 million shares, but sold 22.2 million shares, a very significant difference. So 7 out of 10 top stocks for super investors are being sold right now. Only 3 have more buying than selling. Alphabet Class A, Visa, and Taiwan Semiconductor. And in the case of Alphabet, it's basically just Warren Buffett making a massive bet with his 17.8 million share purchase. If you'd like to learn more about these 3 companies, definitely check out my analysis of these incredible businesses. The links should be here on the screen somewhere and also in the description below. Thanks for watching and see you in the next one.